And hello out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Color Animal Inn. I'm your host, Nord. This is episode 27.0, the pregame show where we're talking about the game, rolling up our characters and stuff. If you don't want to see boring stuff like mathematics and die rolling, skip this, go to 27.1, and that's where the game will actually start. For now, we're just sort of getting together. We had most of the players sign up, and we're deciding what we're going to do game-wise. So, new with us tonight are Zara and her friend Willow. Y'all probably recognize Nick and Diana and Hedgehog from previous episodes. And there's one other guy, Wafflecoon, who is out shopping. He'll be with us soon. So, Zara and Willow are brand new to the Color Animal Inn, as well as, I believe, role-playing in general. Have y'all ever played a role-playing game before? Zara, Willow?
Hi.
Hi.
Have we ever played a role-playing game before, Zara?
Have I?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I probably haven't, but I would assume she has somewhat.
Cool. I'm just asking for, some background to see what you already know about it.
But D&D in general?
Yeah.
Or just role?
D&D, Pathfinder, role-playing, I mean, heck, playing World of Warcraft counts in a way.
I don't know. You said World of Warcraft, counting that, did you just say?
Even that, yeah.
I played World of Warcraft myself, but my parents used to own a coffee shop when I was young, and my dad would play RuneScape, and so eventually he created a account for me, which was really awesome because as a kid, if you have a parent who already plays the game, you get a lot of free stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can't remember what it's called, Xerox armor or something like that. The god that starts with Z. Zamorak, that's what it is. I got full set Zamorak armor for my birthday by a bunch of his friends, and they make me. It was a really easy game for me. They walked me through every single quest. I didn't have to do anything. I was blessed. So I mean, I've had experience there. I played a lot of that as a kid, and I was there when they added in the clans and they added in dungeoneering, and then I was in a small school at the time with only 9 kids in my grade, including myself. And there was 3 girls, and I was the only one with internet because my parents were web designers, so we had internet. So I would convince people that over the weekend we were all going to play together and do dungeoneering. So I'd make the girls come to my house, play, and then we'd find the boys on whatever world we'd play. So I've had experience in that. I don't remember much, so any RuneScape jokes I probably won't get. But
That's cool.
because I really did get handed just about everything. So and then after that, I had like a Minecraft thing for middle school because I was homeschooled/online schooled, and after that I just did schooling, found a job, and then found D&D, which was the only exciting things in my life.
Cool. Yeah, I played RuneScape way back in the day. I probably haven't. I did look at it a couple years ago, but I don't think I've actually played it for like more than 10 years. So, I mean,
well, the rumors going around that they've reset everybody. They upgraded it. People complained, so they tried to change it back, and by doing that, they somehow reset everybody. That's the complaint I've heard.
Huh.
I can't confirm or deny that, but supposedly everybody's been reset, which would suck.
So if I could remember my password and screen name, I probably wouldn't even be worth it because it's gone, huh?
Yeah, that's what everybody's telling me.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame because I would have some like really old stuff. I remember like one of the last things as I was leaving was like party hats.
Yeah.
Little lame party hats in different colors, and people were going nuts for them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I know I got a couple of those and some other stuff, but it's gone now. I don't care. Roll20 is so much more fun, I think. The interactivity and the the free form aspect of it. How about you, Willow? You out there?
Yeah, I put it on the chat, but I
Oh,
mean, like, I haven't really
Skyrim.
played many online or computer games. I really like just.
I'm that friend in high school that made her do stuff.
Ah, so you're the ones to blame. We got it.
Yep. I didn't make
Skyrim.
her play Skyrim. She did that on her own. But to get her to go out of her comfort zone, that would be me.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully you'll both you've got the basic ideas down. So I don't think you're going to have any trouble as far as that goes. Uh, Several years ago, way back when AOL was a thing, if you all even remember what that is, I played a version of Dungeons and Dragons just in a regular chat room with a dice. That's all we had was text and a die roller. And I taught like a 70-year-old lady who runs a quilting shop how to play, and she ended up being one of my favorite players. She played what was it, a pixie with like a big pillowcase that she kept all her sewing stuff in. And she could like sew stuff at the drop of a hat. If she needed a rope, she would sew a rope. Or I mean, that doesn't make sense, but you know the idea.
Right.
And she would just like whack people with it, and she was tiny, so she would ride on other people's shoulders. She was hilarious. And you wouldn't think a 70-year-old grandmother would be into it, but you know, role playing is fun for everybody if they just give it a try. I think everybody would enjoy it, at least on some level.
Yeah. It brings back that old childhood imagination when you wanted to be whatever you could think of.
Yeah, playing, just
More
running
kind
around in
of
the backyard
lava.
playing Let's Pretend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, my mom played it the way you were talking about whack when she was in 8th grade. So.
Yeah. I remember I was in like fourth or fifth grade. No, I must have just gotten into sixth grade because I was at the middle school. And I remember leaving class one day and meeting up with my friend outside, and he shows me this box, a little red cardboard box, got a picture of a dragon on the front, and he opens it up, and there's all these notebooks and all these weird looking dice, and I fell in
Yeah.
love immediately.
I bought that red box too, just 2 years ago.
Ah.
Yeah, I've got the red box, but I don't know how to use it. Just have it though.
That's why I've switched to Pathfinder, is because Pathfinder's rule set is online, and loud motorcycles are outside my window, so I apologize when that happens. But Pathfinder's entire rule set is all online. It's all set up, very easy to use, and most importantly, it's free. So that's why I like it so much. It's very versatile. You can dig deep into it if you really want to make some weird characters, like they were talking about earlier. You can make the Avatar, Aang from the Airbender series. Or you can just make Grog the barbarian, the half orc barbarian who likes to hit stuff. It's up to you what you want to do with it. And Willow and Zara had posted some great character ideas in a thread that I saw, so I threw out an invite. I thought it would be fun to have them come join us. So let's go ahead and let's start building your characters. First off, we are looking at, let's see, Zara Zoom. Let me put her on the right here, and then Willow's going to be on the left. So, Zara, tell us a little bit about your character. Just, really briefly. We're going to go more into depth later, but
Okay.
let's start
Well,
building her.
it's Sarah. And she is a prostitute rogue drow. She where she lives in the Underdark is very separate from the core of Loth. She serves Loth, but she's very like all the messages that Loth has ever given. It's very scrambled and trickled down, so she just gets pieces and bits. She's from most drows have like a house or some type of noble whatever to take care of it. in the cavern that she's in, it's kind of been destroyed by this like subtle war between three houses, thinking that they wanted more loyalists, and so they've unofficially been outcasted by all the other Drow cities. So she's been used to walking up the surface and looking more for surface help than for her own Drow kinship.
Cool. And in this game, background is important, but we're going to be, it's a very randomized, very free-form, sandboxy type of game. So, it's great to have that much backstory, but, I can't guarantee it's all going to come into play. It's great to have it, though. And then Willow has an idea for a character she wanted to play.
Okay. So just really quickly, it's just my parents lived in a tribe whose eldest child was always cursed because of the sins of the tribe's ancestors. And my parents couldn't bear to kill me, so they fled and lived in a cabin outside the woods. But on my 100th birthday, I put my family in danger, so I had to leave them. So I didn't really know anything about the outside world except for what I read in books. And obviously, if you can see my picture, I'm part like white tiger. So
Awesome.
that's the curse. Is I look like a white tiger on the outside.
Yeah, well, some people would not really consider that a curse, would they?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the story. Like, it goes into a lot more detail, but the tribe like hunted animals, and they felt that the animals are beasts that need to be put down, and they did it for sport too. And so, really, the only thing that changed about their children was their physical appearance, and they couldn't accept them for that. So.
Right. They're flawed and must be outcasts because they're different and weird.
Mm-hmm.
As a Drow, I understand that, but
so Willow wasn't sure exactly what class she was going to be, so we did discuss it. And one of the first things that popped into my mind, because we're talking about a curse here, is possibly playing a sorcerer, because sorcerers are very tied in with the bloodline concept. And then I thought also an oracle would be a good way to go. What about the rest of y'all? Do you have any ideas what might be a good class for this character? Nick, Hedgehog, Diana?
I just got back. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Welcome back, Hedgehog.
Danke.
For a white tiger, well, ferocity usually comes with an animal. Much more ferocious than a barbarian. But she may not want to play a melee character for
Give
this
me
type.
a really quick recap.
You want me to summarize my character?
Yeah, very quick. I can look for something.
Basically, I'm cursed as my physical appearance is a white tiger, but I'm really from an elf.
She's an elf. Our family were hunters that kind of got a little too into the hunting thing, so something cursed her to look like a white tiger.
So they could try to accept the animals instead of killing them, but it didn't work, so they started killing their own newborns, their firstborns.
Ooh, maybe witch. She deals with curses.
I'm looking at the occult for. This might be You're new, so any class is going to be kind of new for you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I have the whole bio on my character sheet. I don't know if other people can read that, but if they want to.
Unfortunately, they can't.
Okay.
But we actually did come up with an idea. I was just throwing it out to see what the rest of the group thinks.
So your character is going to be nature-oriented?
Yeah.
I think there's an archetype for the spiritualist.
Yeah. See, like I said, the Hedgehog here is one of the guys that knows, or at least a lot.
I look up stuff.
Yeah.
I look up stuff on my just because it's funny.
That too. But what I had ended up suggesting to Willow was that she played a druid. Was it a druid or did I say ranger?
You said druid.
I did say druid.
Mm-hmm.
Druid is definitely the the obvious choice. You
Oh, well, I'm
could.
obvious, huh?
I mean, it is the obvious choice, but there is the witch. She does deal in hexes and curses. The haunted archetype for the spiritualist says,
That's out of the occult section.
yeah, occult section. So it deals with a spirit that tries to control the master.
Mm. So more like a demonic possession kind of thing there, I think.
Sort of.
I don't think
It's
that's what she's going for.
No.
Yeah.
I wasn't really supposed to be the one who delivered the curse. It was just like I wasn't really changed except for my physical appearance, which was the point.
okay.
So I think druid being the obvious choice. Yeah, I think that's gonna work well for us.
Yeah.
It's not too complicated, but it does have some great options. So we're looking at a rogue and a druid here. I'm not sure what hedgehog was gonna roll, and then Nick and
I'm
Diana.
flexible.
What?
I'm flexible.
What were Nick and Di playing?
I'll play Pyron because he's level 2.
Okay, I got to pull you guys out of the archive. I have like, what is it, 108 characters in my archive at this point.
I'd say at least 15 of those are mine.
Yeah, Pyron Cinderwind. Got him, and he's going to Nick.
Yeah, with Aruru, the wolf.
Ah, yes. Hang on just a second here.
Diana, I think, was going to play her cleric, but she's outside. I'll have to ask her what the name was.
Cool. And Pyron was a
Hunter.
hunter.
Yep.
With Aruru the wolf, of course.
Yep.
Actually,
So we're gonna have a character-heavy party tonight.
hmm.
And Hedgehog, you're gonna be rolling yours up as we go.
Yeah.
You actually did already roll.
Yeah, I already did.
So Willow and Zara, we are going to get you some stats to work with here. If you look under settings up at the top, you're going to see a whole bunch of macros that you can set up. Each of them's got a little checkbox next to it that says Show Macro Quick Bar. You're going to want all of those set up. And as you do, they're going to be popping up at the bottom of your screen here underneath everybody's pictures. See what I'm talking about?
Show what?
Yep, you go to settings, Milo.
Mhm.
And then under macros.
Oh, macros. Sorry.
Yep.
Check boxes.
And then there's a checkbox at the bottom that says Show the Macro Quick Bar. And you're going to want pretty much everything there set up down here for easy access. Later on, you're going to have some stuff up here to click. And
Okay.
I'm assuming you're going to explain what all this means to us.
I will, yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna take this real slow, real step by step. It looks a lot more complicated than it is, and when we're done, it's going to be real easy for you to do what you need to do. Yeah, there you go. CH and CM stand for critical hit and critical miss. Those are just kind of a little fun thing I do. The one we're looking for now, though, is Stat Roller. And this is where you're going to get your set of 6 stats, your strength, dexterity scores, all that stuff. So hang on.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's
Sorry.
all right.
Sorry.
Zara, you rolled once. You didn't like that. So what you did is you threw that set away. You can't come back to it. You rolled a second time. This is the current set you have, 14, 12, 12, 7, 12, and 11. Honestly, this is not a bad set, but it's not a good one either. If you roll a third time, you have to use that third set. The alternate method is to use a 25-point buy system. Willow, you've rolled once. 9, little low, not bad, not crippling. 15, 14, 13, another 9. Good rolls. That 18, though, that's the highest you can get. So you've got a really good set of stats here. You could do better if you're a gambling type of person, but
Yeah, not really.
yeah. So here comes the question, folks. Are you a gambling type? Do you want to stick with the numbers you got? Do you want to re-roll?
I'm gonna stick.
All right, Willow.
I'm gonna stick.
And Zara, you're going to stay with those? You don't want to try a
Yeah,
25-point buy? You don't want to try another re-roll?
I don't really understand the 25-point buy. You're saying that they start at 10, and then every time I add one, I have to subtract another one? Is that what it is?
You start at 10, and then according to a chart they have, which I'll give you right here, it's kind of halfway down.
18 is 17 points. If you take a 7 in something, if you decide to go from a 10 to a 7, you get back 4 points, and you just keep going down until. See, 18 is 17, I believe. 17 is a 15 or 16, and then it generally from there goes down 1.
Right. So you're going to start out with 10 in everything. And then, for example, if you wanted to make one of those 10s an 11, it would cost you 1 point. If you wanted to make that a 12, it would cost you 2 points. 13 would cost you 3 points. And then 14, as it gets higher, it gets more expensive. 14 would cost you 5 points. Making that.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're saying 25. I have 25 points to spend. I see.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right. And so if
I
you
was.
were to.
I understand now.
Right. So if you had all 10s and 25 points, 16 costs you 10 points, and a 14 costs you 5. So you could have 10, 10, 10, and then a 14 for 5 points, and then 2 16s for 20 points. That would be your 25 point buy.
That makes sense.
Yep.
For Nord, I sent you a whisper that you might want to consider.
Ah,
Interesting choice, isn't it?
don't know. I haven't read it yet. What's it called?
What does Waffle plan to play, do you think?
Don't know. I've heard very, very little from him.
He's not here right now.
That's pretty cool. I'm not real familiar with these various class rules. We might hold on to that as something to do in the future because it does look pretty cool. But I think we're going to stick with the simple stuff right now. Just new players.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that does seem pretty cool.
Are you talking about for my character?
All right, so Zara, you went with 25-point up high there.
Yeah. I'm just trying to calculate it out. That will just understand it better. So I took away intelligence to put it into strength, and then I had my wisdom's 13 to spend 3 points, and then my dexterity is actually I'll switch it up. Dexterity will be 13, and the wisdom will be 12. So to spend another 2 points, so that's 5, and then spend 10 on charisma. It's 15, isn't it? It's not how you count, is it? Oh wait, no, that works out. Wait,
Yeah,
no, it doesn't. I don't understand how to count.
well,
I'm an AP math, and I don't understand.
yeah, well, let's take a look at what you got here. So you got an 11 for 1 point. Then you've got a 13. A 13 costs 3 points. Then you've got a 14, which costs 5 points. Then you got a 9, which gives you a point. Then you got another 13 for 3. And then you got
Do I have a 12?
a 16 for 10. Oops. So 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 5 is 9, minus
So
1
I have
is
4
8,
points.
plus 3 8, 9, 10, 11, plus 10 is 21. You have 4 more points to spend.
Okay.
I would suggest pumping your dexterity up as a rogue because that's one of your primary stats.
Mhm. So we make it a 14, costs 2 more points, right?
From 13 to 14 is 3 to 5. That's right.
And then another 2 to make it to 15.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Beautiful. So 11 is 1. 15 is 7 for 8. 14 is 5 is 13. 9 is negative. 1 is 12. 13 is 3 for 15. And then Charisma is 16, 10 points. 15 plus 10 is 25.
Okay.
Willow,
Mm-hmm.
you got the same thing, only you are assigning your numbers directly as they are. These go on your sheet under where it says base.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
You can assign them wherever you want, but the numbers stay. You can't like turn that 18 into a 17 or anything.
Oh, gotcha. I can send them wherever I want.
Right. So that strength can be 9, the strength can be 18, it can be a 13, it can be whatever you want it to be.
Gotcha.
And as a druid, druids, I believe, work off of wisdom.
Yep.
So wisdom is going to be important. Strength and dexterity obviously are important. You could go with a low strength and high dex druid that uses a bow or a ranged weapon of some sort. You can go with a high strength low dex that uses like a big club or any other weapon.
If I wanted more natural, like just claws or martial arts.
That would have to do with intelligence, like, I think is what you're asking. Talking about,
I'm not sure what the question was.
nature intelligence, talking about? Is that what you're talking about?
For a weapon,
Oh,
if
yeah.
I didn't want to necessarily use a weapon, if it was more martial arts or I don't know.
You do get a feat. You might want to take unarmed strikes then.
Yeah, you're going to get like natural weapons in the future too. So the basic difference, strength is going with melee weapon. Anything that you're right up against next to your enemy with is a melee weapon. Something you whack them with, so your muscles are directly involved in that. Whereas dexterity is how accurately you can aim a ranged weapon. You don't get any bonuses per se for the damage you do. Whereas strength affects both the melee to hit and damage.
Okay.
She's also gonna later on. She's gonna pick either an animal or like a favorite terrain. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now, Waffle? Looks like you just came on. In terms of being able to speak.
Waffle? Waffle, are you here?
Yeah.
Yep, roll 20, being buggy.
Have you heard of Discord, Finord?
I have. Never tried it.
It's actually really, really good. It's
Can you at least hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. You're a little soft though.
Soft waffles. Ew.
Too much syrup.
But Discord is extremely useful, and it's much more reliable than all the others.
May switch to that. Not doing that tonight.
Yeah, just for future reference.
Yeah. All right. So Willow, let's see, got us 2 9s.
Yeah, I know one of them.
14, 2 15s. No, one of those 15s needs to be a 13.
Yeah,
The 18.
I changed it.
I think this is the first time I've ever had trouble with Roll20.
Really?
Are you guys? Yeah, I can't hear you.
Waffle? Hello? 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 Hello?
Hmm.
My Roll20 is being really laggy as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a reset on mine. I apologize if this makes all the audio go out. Yes, the excitement of resetting a game on YouTube. Fun, fun. I did warn you, this is the boring part. See how long it takes to load up sometimes? Of course, I've got hundreds, if not thousands, of assets in here, so eventually it'll come up, and then I'm going to have to poke around a little bit to make it work. Do all these macros. Go ahead and switch both of these off.
Your word choice?
There we go.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Howdy, folks.
Hey, no. The CH and CM are the most fun.
Yeah, that's what Fnord was saying earlier.
Hi,
Yeah, you'll
folks.
see a lot of red ones from me.
Have you ever seen Acquisitions Incorporated?
Oh yeah,
Good show.
So you're the one that rolls the ones all the time.
Jerry Hulkin.
I can't remember his name. I just know what he is. He's the guy in the armor and loves
Money.
yeah.
Yep.
That's Jerry Hulkins.
Okay.
Owen or Omen or something.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Omen.
Omen Drawn, Jim Dark Magic, Binwin Bronze Bottom, and Viari.
Don't forget Al.
Yeah.
Was that all in
Oh,
English?
AOL?
Yeah. Call him that. See how that works out.
I don't think you can really hear you. He's usually melted by acid. So.
Oh, poor AFO. So I see that on Pathfinder there's things like drow racial traits.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking? Is that what you're talking about? That we'd get to those like +2, whatever, -2.
That's exactly right. Let me pull
Okay.
your sheets back up so I can follow along, and we'll do that next part. Hedgehog, you
Okay.
know what you're doing, so I'm just going to leave you to it. But Willow and Zara. So let's see. It looks like Willow is set right. Looks like Zara is set right. So let me pull up the races section here. Now, Willow, you're playing a regular elf, not a dark elf. Am I correct?
Right.
All right. So you're going to go through your base stats here, and you're going to add 2 to your dexterity score.
Meaning in the enhancement area?
No,
or...
just the base.
Okay, just the base.
Right.
So add 2 to what?
Your dexterity.
Okay.
You're going to add 2 to your intelligence.
How many to intelligence?
2.
Okay.
And then you're going to subtract 2 from your constitution. Elves are nimble, both in body and mind, but their form is frail. And these are the stats you were born with. This is just your genetic mix. This is how it ends up with all the bonuses you get from being an elf, all that good stuff. Yeah. So this is what you got to work with. And this is a good set of numbers, honestly. Now let's look at drow, because drow are a little bit different. We are looking at a featured race, drow. The
Can't wait to make my
drow,
charisma 18.
yep. The drow is going to be a +2 dexterity, +2 charisma, -2 constitution.
Mhm.
Because drow are nimble and manipulative. Charisma is one of those things that a lot of people think of wrong. They think charisma is just, oh, he's a pretty boy or she's a beautiful woman. No, you can be ugly and have a high charisma. Think of
Mhm.
Rasputin, for example. He's not generally shown as being an attractive man, but he had charisma out the wazoo. You can think of a lot of people like that.
Well, as a prostitute, kind of half on the side, I would hope that my looks are part of it.
Yeah.
For the sake of getting money.
And it's not just getting money, though. What is it? It's kind of just manipulating people into getting what you want, which is
Yeah.
very much a charisma thing.
The deadly courtesan is actually a rogue archetype.
Again, we're probably not going to go with archetypes right now. As we play, I mean, if you come back again as you level up your character, we might make some changes and put in archetype stuff. But for now, we're just going to start with some simple characters, and we'll just get you something to work with, get you into the game. So, by all means, Hedgehog, I'm not trying to sound like I'm knocking
Yeah, I
all
know.
your ideas down here, but we're trying
It's
to get.
just funny that she says she was a courtesan.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there is an actual courtesan rogue archetype.
Pathfinder has everything. All right, so these are your base stats. This is the very basic stuff of what you're going to be working with. And we're going to come back to this sheet a little bit later, but for now, let's go over to the classes tab and start talking about your classes. So, again, Zara, you are going to be a rogue. So we're going to put that as your class name under the line 0. It's everything on this sheet starts with a 0 because computer reasons. I don't know. It does. I don't like it, but that's how it has to be. And as a rogue, you're going to get certain benefits and such. In particular, we are looking at an 8-sided hit die, which means if you were to roll for hit points, you would roll an 8-sided die as opposed to a 6 or a 10-sided. Starting at level 1, you get that maxed. And in my game, every level you get maximum hit points because I think you're going to need them. So I'm going to fill in your under HP level 1 times your maximum hit die is 8 hit points just from that. We'll come back to this FC stuff. At level 1, a rogue has a base attack bonus of 0. Fort reflex will, you get a +2 to reflex, and then you're going to be a level 1. Alright, I know that just sounds like a lot of gibberish. Trust me on this. There is one decision you're going to make. There's something called a favored class bonus. This basically, every time you take a level in that class, presumably whatever you start with, you get a bonus either 1 hit point or 1 skill point. And you'll change your choice every level as you go up. You get 1 more bonus you can pick. Personally, I like to go for skill points because hit points, 1 hit point doesn't really do that much. skill points give you more stuff to do, but as a rogue, you get the most skill points anyway. So it's kind of a tough decision. Do you know which one you think you might like better?
Skill points, is that have to do with like acrobatics and that type thing? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll go through and we'll pick skills later.
I want skill point.
Okay.
That's fine.
Cool. So over here under FC skill, we're going to bump that up to 1.
Okay.
And now go over to your core again.
Okay.
So we're looking at your hit points. Your hit points are going to be your base HD is 8. You didn't pick favorite class, so you got 8 hit points. 1 times your level. Then your level times your Constitution modifier gives you bonus hit points. In this case, it's 1, so 1 times 1 is 1 more hit points onto that 8 you rolled. Gives you a maximum hit points of 9. About average for a starting character. And we'll come back to you here in a minute as we go over to Willow. Willow, you're going to be playing a druid. The druid also gets 8 hit dice, and hit die of 8. Druid, base attack bonus 0. You get fortitude and will of 2. Level 1. And would you like a hit point or a skill point?
Skill is fine.
Skill point it is. So there we go. We got you set up. 8 hit points times 1. Go to your Constitution bonus of 0. You got 8 hit points to start with. All right, now let's go over and let's look at the skills section. All right, this is a little complicated looking. It's not that bad. I'm going to start with acrobatics and just kind of work my way across, telling you what things are. And that first thing there is the button you roll. You just click that. It's not going to work right now for reasons, but when you make a skill check, you just come into your sheet, click that button, and that's all you need to do.
What button did you say?
On the very left by acrobatics, you'll see there's like some squares. The one on the far left, the big one, has got a little die in it. If it were working, you would click that. It's not working right now for reasons.
Okay.
The next little square is a checkbox, and you can check this on and off if something is a class skill. A class skill means that it's something offered in your training to become whatever your class is. And these are going to vary. And it basically just gives you a little bonus when you train in that skill. You can use something whether or not it's a class skill. It doesn't affect whether you can use it or not. It just gives you a bonus. And then each class has their own set of skills. So Willow, I need you to go through and scroll down the list here as we go, and I'm going to tell you what a druid's class skills are, and you just check those off as you go, all right?
Okay.
You're looking at climb, so you're going to just check that little box next to climb. It's not going to do anything yet. Then we're looking at craft. There are a bunch of different ones. Just pick the top one. This is something you'll figure out later.
Okay.
Fly is one, and even though it's a class skill, you can't train it until you learn how to fly, which is something most people don't do. Handle animal, of course, is a druid thing. Heal, and then you got some knowledges down here. Your specialties are in geography and nature. So knowledge, geography, knowledge, nature. Then we're going to scroll down to perception. Profession, not perform, but profession, just like the craft is going to be something you pick later. Then you get ride, you get spellcraft, and then, of course, being outdoorsy, you're going to get survival and swimming. And these are all things that you just get a bonus in if you choose to train them. We'll come back to that in just a moment. Zara, or Sarah, Is it
Sarah. It's okay. I know who you're talking to. It works for me.
cool? You're going to do the same thing. Let me pull up Rogue for you. So a rogue has a bunch of skills. Stay with me on this. You're getting acrobatics. You're getting appraise. You're getting bluff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to get climb. You're going to get a craft.
Yeah.
You're going to get diplomacy. You're going to get disable device. That's your trap disabling lockpicking skill. You're going to get disguise. You're going to get escape artist. You're going to get intimidate. You get the knowledges dungeoneering and local. You're going to get a point to. You're going to get linguistics. You're going to get perception. You're going to get a performance and a profession. You're going to get sense motive, sleight of hand, stealth, swim, and use magic device. Not survival though. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry.
So that's a whole bunch of those.
Woohoo!
Now, these do not give you any bonuses. These are classes that were offered at the Rogue College, is one way I like to think of it. So going back up and looking at acrobatics again, right next to the CS, you see there's a little asterisk next to it, right?
Mhm.
Not all skills have that asterisk. If they do, that means you can use it even if you haven't trained once. So acrobatics, everybody can try to somersault, even if you've never tried it before. You can at least give it a try. But for example, knowledge, arcana. If you've never studied arcana, you can't use that skill. You know, you have no way of knowing. You've never been trained. You wouldn't even know where to start. So if it's got an asterisk by it, you can use it even with no ranks. And then the skill name, obviously, and then in gray there where it says total, that is the current bonus that you get to that skill.
Okay.
Now, your skill points are going to be very wrong at the moment. So let me see why. Because under classes I did not put in your skills per level. A rogue gets 8 skill points a level, so let's put that in there. Whereas a druid is going to get 4 per level. Classes here. 4. Oops. There we go. And you get bonuses for having a higher intelligence. If you do,
I don't.
nope, you actually get a -1. That's all right. That's not going to hurt you much. So you're going to see up here at the top, it's going to calculate in for you your skill ranks and how many you have remaining. And Willow, let me see, 4 plus 3 plus 1. Yep, it should be 8. So you each have 8 ranks. Now you can go through here and you can pick any of these skills to train in, but you're only allowed to have 1 rank per level. So at the moment, the highest you can have is 1, the lowest obviously is 0. So go through and spend your points. You're going to just add it right there where it says ranks. Just change that 0 to a 1, and you'll see the total is going to change dramatically as you go through.
And we can only add
Okay.
1 to each one.
Right.
An 8 is what you said?
Yeah, if you look up at the top, right up at the top, it's going to say max skill ranks minus total skill ranks equals skill ranks remaining. And then background skills remaining is some gibberish. That's a bug I need to get rid of.
Can we only do that with ones that have the asterisk by it?
No, you can train in any skill. Anything
Okay.
at all you want to train in, you're welcome to. If it has an asterisk, you don't have to train in it at all to make the roll.
Gotcha.
And if it is a class skill, you get bonuses if you do train in it.
So, is perform the same like performances for other versions?
How do you mean?
Like, performance like for a dance or for doing like some type of like carnival type thing, some type of
Yes.
entertainment related.
Yes, you could put performance juggling or performance singing, performance, storytelling.
Okay.
Anything like that. Profession and craft are the same thing. If you go into the PRD, the rule book that I sent you, you'll see some examples of what those can be. Pretty much, this is, unless you're a bard, performance is going to be a role-playing tool as opposed to something useful. But, by all means, build your character how your character would be, not what gives you the best numbers.
Right. I realized that I accidentally put too many.
Yeah, you're doing great. I really like the ideas you have for your characters, both of you. Waffle Kun.
Hey, how's it going?
There he is. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Finally got it figured out.
Yeah, sorry I didn't mean to ignore you. I was just kind of into stuff. I'm glad you're with us tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
So let's talk. What are you thinking about? So I don't know if you've followed along too much with what's been going on.
Well, I've been throwing around a few character prospects, and mostly what I was looking at was gonna try out an Oriad monk, if you allow him.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So
it's 4d6 drop the lowest, right?
There's actually a macro in here to use. If you go into the settings, there are a whole bunch of macros. You're going to want all those set up in your macro quick bar. And I'm talking to you because I believe you're familiar with both Pathfinder and Roll20. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Cool. So,
do I get a reroll?
You actually have up to 3 rolls total. If you re-roll, you throw away the set. You cannot come back to it. You have to use the second one. If you don't like the second one, you can throw it away. You have to use the third, or before rolling, you can choose to default to a 25-point buy.
Yeah, point buys ain't fun.
It's a gambling, man. So roll 2.
All right, I'll
Roll 2
take
ain't
that
bad.
one.
Kept, all right.
Wow, that's a nice one.
Yeah, not bad. A pair of 16s come in handy.
Sounded like someone was dying over there.
Yeah, I got a sister hiding behind under a blanket next to me, who's refusing to move. Exactly.
All right, and can I use the Totori monk archetype?
I'm not sure what that is.
It's basically the grappling monk.
Grappling is kind of annoying to me, but I can't, you can't play Pathfinder without allowing it, so yes, you may.
Yay!
I draw the line at gunslingers. No gunslingers in my game. You don't.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, they don't have any purpose in a medieval setting. Although, I might throw ray guns in here. We might get a laser, but no, that's not
Why
happening,
not?
folks.
What's the name of the monk?
It's a Totori, Tetori.
And is that in the PRD or
I'm
only
looking for it right now.
It's on the SRD.
I do not allow the SRD. It has to be in the PRD.
Oh, I think it's on the PRD.
If you can find
I'm
it in the
looking right
PRD, a lot of things are in both. Some things are only in the one or the other. I consider the Pathfinder reference document, the PRD, this right here. This is canon, even with all the weird stuff in it going up to Occult Adventures, which is the newest.
Yep, it's on the PRD.
I just saw it.
Cool. Then, yes, I definitely allow that.
Cool.
I'm just going to leave you to fill in your own sheet. I assume you know what you're doing.
Yep.
Thank
you.
I count that I put 8, I put 8, but it says I only did 7 for the ranks.
All right, let's scroll through and see what we see. All right, so I've got climb. I'm reading heal or handle animal. Let me know if I missed one. Knowledge geography, knowledge nature, perception, survival.
In spellcraft. Can do that.
Now there's one in spellcraft.
I
that
didn't
second
click
ago.
my cursor off of it. Sorry.
There you go. Now it should read 8.
Yep.
And
thank
8
you.
it does. Perfect. And Zara, looks like you're doing okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So the next thing, we're going to go back to the classes tab.
Okay.
And class features and abilities. These are things you're going to get as you level up in that class. And right there you'll see where there's a little add button, so you can add a whole new item. These are called repeating items or something like that. I forget what they're called exactly. But you can add as many features as you need to go along just by clicking the add button there. And Willow, we're going to start with you. We're going to give you some of your druid stuff. So your first one here is going to be called Nature Bond.
Do you want me to fill this in?
Please.
Okay. So, in the ability name, Nature Bond.
Yep. There you go. And then for description, just write in that you have an animal companion. We have discussed this earlier, and we decided that giving you not just the appearance of a tiger, but an actual tiger with you would be fun.
Yep.
So just go ahead and just type in the word animal companion. And I've actually given you a sheet with your tiger on it. You can make some changes, but I filled in a lot of stuff ahead of time. We'll deal with it in more detail later. Your next item you're going to add is you get a nature sense. So your next feature there. And nature sense, a druid gains a +2 bonus on knowledge, nature, and survival checks.
So +2. Oh, you already put it. Okay.
Yep. So go over to your skills. Back to your skills.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see on the right, it goes like racial, feat, item, ACP, miscellaneous. We'll call these racial because they're, a class ability and they're like so fundamental that racial is a good place to put it. And then just scroll down to knowledge, nature. You're going to get a +2 there.
Okay.
And I'm going to make a note, +2 druid bonus. There we go. And then you're going to do the same thing in survival.
A +2?
Yep.
Okay.
And there are some things that give you a +2 bonus only in certain circumstances. That's what the note field is for. But for now, we're good. And so you're going to go back to your classes section.
Okay.
And the next one you get is, let's go with Wild Empathy on this one.
Wild Empathy?
Wild Empathy. And that gives you a bunch of useful stuff you can do. I've just filled that in for you. This is like a diplomacy check made to improve the attitude of a person. Only you're improving the attitude of an animal. It's almost like an extra type of handle animal check, which is nice.
Okay.
And then the last thing you have is orisons, which are like level 0 spells. And we'll pick those out for you later. However, if you scroll down, does it have an origin section? It does not.
So do I have to put Orsons in an ability, or?
You can put it here as a class feature and ability, yeah.
Okay. I don't know how to spell that.
Just to keep track of it.
Okay.
Put that in there for you. All right. And you'll get other things as you go, and there are still other things to fill out, but we're going to go over and switch to Zara here. And for her as a rogue, Zara, you are going to get sneak attack. And sneak attack gives you a plus 1d6 when you make an attack against somebody in certain circumstances. Copy and paste that in for you there. And then your next one is trap finding. And trap finding is one of those situational things. Put it in there here. And that you're adding half your level, rounded up to 1, to all perception checks made to locate traps and disable device skill checks. So if you go over to your skills, on your skills tab under disable device and perception. Now you're not going to get this every time, so don't put the number in there. But under disable device, we're going to put a +1 trap finding, because that's a rogue thing. That note will pop up whenever you make that roll. So if needed, we'll just say, okay, you rolled an 18, but you get a +1 to your trap finding, so that's a 19, you made it. And then the same thing under perception here. Perception +1 trap. Oh, beautiful. There you go. And let's go back to classes. That is all that a rogue gets at this point.
Okay.
Feats. Each of you, for being a level 1 character, are going to get 1 feat of your choice.
Okay.
If you go to the feats section here, there we go. That's a list of them. They're little bonus things you can do. But also look at your classes page as you do so, because there are some things you might not want. For example, there's no reason for a rogue to take light armor proficiency, because she just automatically gets that as a rogue. Rogues are proficient with all simple weapons, like plus the rapier, for example, so you wouldn't necessarily need to get a feat for rapier use. Unless you want to use it, and it's not something you get from some other source. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a break. I'm going to stop the recording because we just hit an hour. Let y'all look through some of the stuff. We're going to finish off your feats. We're going to finish. We're going to get you some traits. We're going to make sure all your racial bonuses and everything is coming through. We're going to finish off your characters. And when we come back, we'll actually get into the actual gameplay here at Roll20, the Color Animal Inn. So, bye YouTube. We'll see you in episode 27.1 whenever we get around to it.
Okay.